And we are back for WAFL week number 17. We start with Snowhawks and the Blues, some of the better teams in the AFC. Snowhawks, they've clinched a playoff berth with the Bisons and the Condors, but the Blues, they're still fighting with the Riverhawks to see who claims this division. Snowhawks early in the first, passing the ball. Gerald Everett brings it down to the one, then Trevor Lawrence over the middle to Dan Arnold for the score. It's 10-0 now in the second. Lawrence is still firing. Back to Everett. The tight end scores, making it 17-0. The Blues with 0 points, 30 seconds left in the first half, and Russell takes off. And Russell Wilson goes up the sideline for a nice run. So here they are, second and goal. And they finally punch it in. Jacoby Myers with the catch over the middle. 17-7 now in the third. Lawrence down to Sterling Shepard at the 6, third and goal. Lawrence, a lot of time, just picking apart the Blues secondary. Van Jefferson with the score, 24-7. The Blues trying to make their comeback. Sidearm throw, doesn't get any yards, so 4th and 2 now for the Blues. It's Wilson, buying time, floating to his right. Pass is caught, but well short of the goal line. So final score, 24-7. Snowhawks are 12-4, Blues 10-6, and have to worry about the Riverhawks taking over their division. Next up, we have a big one, Thunderbirds and Shamrocks. Both teams have clinched along with the Desperados and Mounties, but this one is all about seeding. Who wants the number 1 seed in the NFC and that first round bye? Well, the Thunderbirds, they're going to get started on the ground. Najee Harris gets them inside the 10, and then Tannehill on second and goal. Throwing in the end zone, 2 feet down for Hunter Bryant. Nice catch. Shamrocks, they're going to start with a field goal, except it's a fake. They're going to start with some trickeration, and they're going to pitch it to the holder, but he's called down on the 1-yard line, so they got to do it all over again here. Stroud going back of the end zone, intercepted. So Christian Gonzalez with the clutch stop. The Shamrocks, they're back. Read option. Stroud's going to take it himself on the ground from the 1. Handoff, Devin Singletary. Ooh, the tackle pushes him in, so the pile gets pushed, and they finally get on the board after 3 straight red zone attempts. Thunderbirds, field goal goes up, so they're only up 6. Stroud, with some pressure by DJ Johnson, they need to settle for the field goal. But there's a flag on the play. Instead of going down 3, they're going to get a chance to start first and goal, and Devin Singletary gets his second touchdown. Now Shamrocks up 1. Tannehill throwing sideline incomplete. Now 3rd and 4. In the hands, but dropped by his receiver. Now 4th down. This one, same thing, right in the receiver's gut, but it's popped loose. So Shamrocks on 3rd and 3. They get the first down and run out the clock. Shamrocks hold on. Rough start, but they finish with the 1-point win and the lead in the NFC. Now to Columbus we go. It's Caps and Steamers, both 8-7, both teams fighting for a wild card spot. Brian Robinson fighting his way to the end zone, tough running. Caps up 10 later in the first. Burrow dumps it down to his tight end. There's Dulcich. He takes a big pop from Logan Wilson, and this ball is out. Caps recover. 1st and 10 for the Caps, and untouched goes Robinson. Second touchdown of the game, 17-0 now. 3rd and 8, Burrow slings it down. DeAndre Hopkins, tough running by him, getting to the 5-yard line, then 3rd and goal. Nick Chubb picks up a block and a touchdown. 10-point game, 17-7. Robinson untouched. They're calling this a touchdown, but he is way behind the goal line. So Caps are going to try again, 3rd and goal. This time leaping into the end zone, no doubt about that one. Caps 27, Steamers 7. 3rd quarter, touchdown. Dulcich with the grab. Steamers down 13. Mahomes rolling right, throwing right, intercepted. The Steamers, 4th quarter comeback in the works here. Taylor Rapp, nice job jumping the route. Now Burrow, play action pass. It's Hopkins bursting into the end zone. So now it's a 6-point game. Crucial 3rd and 6, and the Caps convert. So the Steamers defense couldn't step up. Caps win 30-24, and now with that win, the Caps at 9-7, they're going to take the Steamers' place in the wild card. Now we go to Wizards Mounties. NFC North still up for grabs after that Thunderbirds loss, so Mounties a lot to play for. But the Wizards, they've got Tyreek Hill off and running. Brock Purdy hits him in stride, and he's going to speed his way down to the end zone to put the Wizards up early. And to top it off, throws a backflip in there. But here's Rodgers with the Mounties. throwing to his left. Terry McLaurin picks up a block deep downfield, frees him up for the score, and so we're tied at 7. Just a minute to go or so in the half. Purdy throws it up for grabs in the end zone, and George Kittle comes down with it. 14-7 Wizards. Now 20 seconds to go. Mounties moving the ball down to the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Rodgers to McLaurin again. 2nd touchdown for Terry McLaurin. 3rd and 2 in the 3rd. Down 3, the Wizards are going to Cam Akers, but he stopped 1 yard short. Instead of tying it up, they're going to go for it. This time it's Akers again on the reception, but he fumbles it. Mounties dive on this, but the refs are going to the booth, and that knee is down before the ball comes out. So Wizards, another chance here. 4th and goal. Swatted away. Mounties defense steps up. Now Mounties offense, 3rd and goal. Rodgers rolling out. Terry McLaurin with the catch down to the 2. 4th down, and they're going for it. Rodgers swings it out to Tajay Spears. Stiff arm and falling into the end zone. Tough running by Spears. Mounties up 10. Now it's the Wizards' last chance. Under a minute. 4th down pass is knocked away out of bounds. Nothing they can do. 24-14 is where it stands. The Mounties win 11-5 on the year. Now in OKC, the Bisons and the Redwoods going head-to-head. 3rd and 7. Jameis Winston already down 3. He's going for the end zone. Redwood defense stepping up, forcing the Bisons to tie this up at 3. And then on the ensuing kickoff, the Bisons, they're kicking it back deep. Parker Washington fields it at the 1-yard line. He's returned one before, and he's got room to return another. Man on his heels, he dives and misses, and Washington is going the rest of the way. Touchdown Redwoods, doing it on special teams today. 10-3, and they've got the ball back. 3 minutes to go in the 2nd. Baker Mayfield finds his receiver, Jawan Jennings, in a sea of Bison. Now into the 3rd. The Bisons, they're in the red zone, driving. Winston throwing. Kelvin Ridley sliding across the end zone for the grab. 17-12. They need 2 more to make it a 3-point game, and they've got it. Now 2 minutes left. They've got the ball back on 3rd down, but just an errant throw by Jameis. 4th and 10. Winston, he's getting antsy in the pocket. Nobody downfield, and he is sacked. The ball is going back to the Redwoods, and they hand it off to Derrick Henry. But on 3rd and 13, they can't convert. They do kick a field goal to go up 6. So a touchdown will win it. But Winston, time is ticking down. He's got a lot of time in the pocket. He's got to heave this one as far as he can. This one's heading out of bounds. So the Bisons can't do it. They get upset by the Redwoods. Final score 20-14. Redwoods 7-9. Bisons 10-4-2. Next up, it's Armadillos versus Oilers in Austin. Oiler ball. They hand it off, and Jonathan Taylor puts his head down, squeaks by the entire Armadillo defense, and he's got enough speed to finish the run. Oilers up 7-0. Armadillos, they're going to their back. He picks up a key block, and he might be gone. He's got an Oiler down there to beat, but Breece Hall too fast. So almost identical long runs here for both these teams. Now play action. Will Levis freeing up his tight end down there in the red zone. Darnell Washington, 14-7. Oilers are up. But now here's Goff to Breece Hall out of the backfield. Little wheel route there. Next possession, the Armadillos are back 1st and goal, and it's back to Breece Hall for his 3rd score, 21-14. But towards the end of the half, Armadillos are punting. Marquise Goodwin back to receive. Going right, no, cuts back left. Fools the entire Armadillos special teams. Marquise Goodwin up the sideline. Touchdown. Ties this one up at the half. Oilers kick a field goal. They're up 24-21 in the 3rd. But Breece Hall, what a day. 4th touchdown. 24-28. Oilers are down. Levis on the move. Throws it up for his big tight end, Pat Freiermuth. Now the Armadillos down 3. They don't have much time. Just one timeout to go. And it's Goff to Tank Dell. And they grab the lead with just 31 seconds to go. The Oilers now, they just have 31 seconds and all 3 timeouts to drive downfield. But Will Levis says, drive. I'm going to throw it down with one throw. And Zay Flowers comes down with it. 1st and goal, Oilers. Will Levis goes back to Freiermuth. And the Oilers take the lead with just 20 seconds to go in this game. 38-35. One last heave for Jared Goff and the Armadillos. This is going up and not far enough. Intercepted. So back and forth these two teams went in the 4th quarter, but it's the Oilers who come out on top 38-35. They're 5-11. Armadillos 6-10. Now in San Antonio, Dreadnoughts versus Nighthawks. Dreadnoughts ball in the first. Geno Smith firing to Kyle Pitts, and he runs it all the way to the end zone. Dreadnoughts up. Still up 7-3 in the second. Ezekiel Elliott's going to run this one down to the 4-yard line. First and goal. Handoff up the gut. CJ Uzoma at fullback gets the score 14-3. Dreadnoughts knocking on the door again. Kyle Pitts wants his touchdown pushed out of bounds at the 1. 1 yard out. Ezekiel Elliott goes leaping into the end zone. 24-6. The Nighthawks now on offense. And there's Bryce Young to Hunter Renfro. He speeds his way into the end zone. So 24-13. Dreadnoughts in the fourth. Geno Smith throws a real low pass, but nice grab to keep the drive alive. Third and goal. Smith to Kyle Pitts, his second receiving touchdown. It brings the score to 31-13, and that's where it'll stay. Dreadnoughts win this one with ease. They go up to 8-8. Nighthawks fall to 5-11. Now we head to London. The Black Knights versus the Elks, and the Elks hoping to hold on to the NFC West. The Dak Knights just hoping to play spoiler, and here Dak goes. Getting hit, propelled for the first down, third and goal. He's got a wide open receiver, gets his 2 feet down. Good job by George Pickens there. 10-0 Black Knights. Now Anthony Richardson is going to try and take off, but Brian Burns swallows him up. Elks don't get their first points until the fourth quarter with the field goal. Now it's Knights ball, 1st and 10. They hand the ball off. Great blocking. Excellent juke by Selvin Ahmed, and he is off to the races. Completely fooled this Elks defense. Black Knights now up 17-3, and Anthony Richardson only has 2 minutes to go, and he's going. Scampers all the way down to the 1 yard line. Then second and goal. Richardson throws quick out to his right. Tight end O'Keefe with the score. Elks now down 7. They have the Black Knights on a 3rd and 6, and they stop them, burn their final timeout. And then on 2nd and 9, Richardson, he is going deep to Jalen Waddle. He has a step in the end zone, dropped. Jalen Waddle dropped the game-tying touchdown, so here we are, 4th and 9, going right back to him. But the Black Knights defense is there to stop him. 17-10 final score. Elks have fallen to 9-7, and the Dak Knights 7-9. Next, we head to Paris for Voyagers and Monarchs. Monarch ball in the first. Lamar Jackson handing off to Kenneth Walker. Sweet juke move. Then he turns on the afterburners down the sideline, getting down to the 1 yard line. Then 1st and goal. It's Lamar to Dalton Kincaid, the tight end, for the score 7-0. Now in the second, Lamar down the middle, slicing up this Voyagers defense. 1st and goal from the 2. Pitch it out to Kenneth Walker. He finally gets that touchdown. That'll make the score 14-0. Voyagers in the red zone. Darnold throwing on the move. Zay Jones in the end zone goes and gets it. 14-7 now. Monarchs. LaMonarch Jackson showing off the cannon deep downfield. Jameson Williams burns the corner. Nearly had a touchdown. 3rd and goal now. Lamar to the corner. Keenan Allen was ruled out of bounds. So they're going to kick this field goal and go up 10. Now up 13. The Monarchs with the ball. Lamar Jackson, he sees room to run, and he runs past the 20, past the 10, slides down around the 7. Then 1st and goal. Out to the flat. Dalton Kincaid turns on a 90-degree angle and zips right into the end zone. 2-point conversion coming up, and Jackson tries to run it in. He can't. Caught from behind. 26-7 now in the fourth. Monarchs aren't letting up. That's to the tight end. 2nd and goal. Handoff. Kenneth Walker takes a big hit, but he's in. Score 36-7. Last play of the game. The Voyagers are still fighting, and Darnold just taking unnecessary hits at this point. 36-7, big time win by the Monarchs. They're 1 game back of the Elks for the NFC West. Now to Omaha, the Antlers versus the Orbits. Orbits ball. Jalen Hurst doesn't like what he sees. He's going to tuck it and run. One man spins out of a tackle. The second one trips him forward a few yards. Now the 1, Jalen Warren just pokes the ball in. That's a touchdown. 7-0. End of the first. Read option with Josh Allen. He cuts it back up the middle and just rips off a huge run down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Play action, and in the corner of the end zone is tight end Daniel Bellinger. Now Antlers back in the red zone on 4th and inches. They convert. Down 3, 3rd and goal, 8 seconds left. It's Allen to Tyler Lockett, and they go ahead into the half. Now into the 3rd quarter. Josh Allen back to throw, being chased by some orbits, but he's going to escape and go up into the end zone for the rushing touchdown. Antlers now up 8, fourth quarter. They're not done. Allen firing it down the sideline for a big gain. First and goal. Josh Allen to the end zone. Touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his second. 28-13 later in the fourth. Make it 35. Daniel Bellinger is back. 35-13 orbits. They're down 22 with a minute to go, but Hurts is firing it downfield to Jordan Addison. They'll cap off this game with a 2-point conversion, but not nearly enough as the Antlers win 35-21. And right now at 9-7, they'll be holding down one of the wild card spots. Now we go to Golden Eagles and Desperados, little NFC South matchup. Desperados clinched the division, but here the Golden Eagles off early to a fast start. Alan Lazard with a catch down the middle. And then Kurt Benkert, little play action on third and goal, moving in the pocket, freeing up Mike Williams across the middle. They're up 10-0. End of the third. Desperados are driving into the fourth now. And Trey Lance on third down just throws it away, all he can do. They'll finally get on the board in the fourth with a field goal. So 7-point game. Desperados trying to come back. Deebo Samuel catching this drag route and going up the field down into the 6, now at the 5-yard line. Trey Lance throws end zone. Trey McBride, the traded Trey, been working all season long. Now we're tied at 10, under a minute. Trey Lance avoids one tackler, but he can't avoid them all. We're going into overtime. Still tied at 10, the handoff up the middle. Travis Etienne sheds all the tackles, and the Desperados come back to win in overtime. Just a handoff up the middle was all they needed. 16-10 final score. They're 10-6, and Golden Eagles now 5-11. Now we go to Bulls Dragons in London. Both teams 7-8 with a slim chance at making the playoffs if they win out. And here's Kyler Murray. He's running out of the pocket and leaping into the end zone. A bull on his back, but he still gets there. 7-0 Dragons. Now Kyler again, 3rd and 5. Doesn't see anything downfield except room to run. Gets tackled around the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. Play action. Is he going to run it a third straight time? Yes, he does. Kyler Murray diving over the goal line again. 2nd rushing touchdown. So 14-0 Dragons up in the first half. Murray slings it. Corner routes open. Marquise Brown speeds all the way down to the end zone. 21-0 now. Dragons, they're not letting up. Murray, QB draw, breaks the first tackle and falls forward enough to get 2nd and 1 from the 5. Murray looking to run again. This man is running all over the Bulls. Left, right, and center. 4th and goal. 28-0. Gives Jahmyr Gibbs a rushing carry here instead. 35-0. Dragons absolutely crushing the Bulls. There's Minshew. He can only throw it away. He was under duress. Bulls get 3 points. 3 better than none, but they had no chance in this game. 35-3 is the final. Dragons go up to 8-8. Now in Tokyo, it's the Tigers and Aviators. Draft picks on the line in this one. Both teams with 4 wins. There's Hendon Hooker for the Tigers, throwing it downfield, caught around the 5. Now 3rd and 4. Receiver's blown up, so Tigers will get a field goal in this one. They get on the board first, but here's Jordan Love. Oh, he's got a wide open target in the end zone. Touchdown Traquan Smith. 13-3 now in the third. Love slinging it all over. This time it's Zach Ertz diving through Tigers to get into the end zone on that one. 20-3 in the fourth. The Aviators, just like that, another touchdown. Jordan Love to his tight end, Cade Otton. The Tigers may have scored first, but the Aviators scored 27 straight and win 27-3. They're 5-10-1. Tigers 4-12. Now to Portland, the Pioneers and the Sentinels. Pioneers with that nice number 1 pick in their pocket, and they're going to keep it there with coverage like this. Marvin Jones unguarded on this one. Sentinels go up 7-0. Now back in the red zone. Tony Pollard breaks a tackle, somehow stays on his feet. The excellent balance by Pollard. He gets in the end zone. 14-0. Sentinels now in the second. They're pitching it right back to him. And a nice run, gets to the corner pylon. He is back in, 2nd touchdown. Now here come the Pioneers, down 21. Josh Rosen, oh, he's popped by the Sentinels defense, and they recover it. No Pioneer wants to get up and tackle him, so Danico Autry is going to run this one back to the house. He kind of looked around like, all right, no one's going to touch me. I guess I'll go. But those resilient Pioneers, they come back. Rosen to Will Disley. They get their first touchdown of the game late in the third. So 34-10. The Sentinels go back to Pollard, and this time untouched. Great blocking, just burst through the hole. Touchdown, 41-13 is the final. Sentinels looking dominant, 8-7-1. But they're still on the outside of the playoffs, looking in. Next, we have the Riverhogs versus the Condors. Remember, the Blues lost, so a Riverhogs win means they can take over this division of the AFC North. And DK Metcalf, nice catch in traffic. They're up 7-0. But next possession, Fields fires it in traffic. McCole Hardman grabs it and runs, putting the speed on display. Touchdown Condors. We're all tied up at 7. Now Condors in the red zone later in the first. Mark Andrews. Touchdown Andrews, big year out of him. 14-7 Condors, but here are the Riverhogs. And the Hogs blocking well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting down to the 5. Then Isaiah Pacheco finishes the drive, diving through the end zone. 17-14. Condors take a 3-point lead, but the Riverhogs, they're driving back. They're in the red zone, now near the goal line. Watson avoids the sack, stays on his feet, tucks it, and runs this one in for the lead now. 27-20 in the fourth after a couple of field goals. It's Watson throwing, connecting with DK Metcalf, his second touchdown. That puts the Riverhogs up 14 now in the fourth. Just a minute 30 left to go. But the Condors, they're moving the ball through the air inside the 10. First and goal right here. Justin Fields throwing for the end zone. KJ Osborne lays out for it. So the Condors with a defensive stop here. They burned 2 timeouts, stopped them on first and second down, but third down they can't stop this Riverhogs offense. The Riverhogs put up 34 and upset the Condors to take over the AFC North. And speaking of the North, we have 2 NFC North teams here, Huskies and the Lumberjacks, on Sunday Night Football. In the first, it's Mac Jones in some trouble. Frankie Louva with the safety. Now 5-0 in the second. Huskies moving the ball. Herbert to Hurst for the score. Touchdown Hayden Hurst, 12-0. They're right back in the red zone. First and goal now. Herbert stepping up in the pocket and finding Devontae Smith in the end zone, sliding for that grab. 19-zip. Here the Lumberjacks. Mack completes it to Amari Cooper. He's been great all year, but he coughs this one up. Give it right back to the Huskies. They drive down, third and goal. Justin Herbert finds Hurst again. Second touchdown reception, 26-0. This is still the second quarter, and the Huskies doing it on defense now. Mac Jones is intercepted. Lumberjack Mac with a big mistake. Stephon Gilmore makes him pay. Second and goal. Second quarter still, and the Huskies are running it up. Devontae Smith now makes it 33-0. Midway through the third, Herbert slinging it right. Smith is back and runs this one to the 2-yard line, so close. Then they hand it off up the middle, and powering ahead for the score. Jordan Atkins makes it 40-0 in the third here. The Lumberjacks just trying to punt this one deep and keep them away from their end zone. It's Braxton Berrios, sheds one tackle, cuts it back, and he's got a wide open lane. He's going up the middle of the field and creating distance between him and the nearest defender. The Lumberjacks giving one up on offense, defense, special teams, you name it. 47-0 is the score. And Saquon, he gets nothing. So on 4th and 5, they're kicking a field goal and get their first points of the game. The Huskies say, you kick it, I kick it, and put up 50 points on the Lumberjacks. One of the worst teams in the league, but still 50 points, the highest point total in the entire year. Just an amazing performance by the Huskies all around. But let's look at some other performances of the week. In the NFC, we had Kyler Murray for the Dragons, Stephon Gilmore on those Huskies. And then in the AFC, Josh Allen, Zadarius Smith, Antlers, and Riverhogs. Speaking of those Hogs, they are 10-5-1, a half game better than the Memphis Blues, who at one point was like 8-1, right? And it looked like an unstoppable team. Now it's the Hogs who own the North, at least going into the final week. And now, how does the AFC East look? Well, the Snowhawks, we know they are in firm control. The Caps, they beat the Steamers. That was the big one. Caps almost assured a playoff spot here. Now, Steamers not looking so good. Orbits, they've been down for a while. Lost 6 straight games. Then in the South, the Bisons, they lost, but they had this division all wrapped up. Dreadnoughts, they're right on the edge. They're going to need a couple teams to lose, like the Caps and Antlers and Sentinels and Steamers, but they could still make it. Then in the West, the Condors, they took a hit, but they're still 12-4 and number 1 in the AFC. The Sentinels, 8-7-1. It's tough. They're on the outside looking in. They're going to have to win and hope a few other teams lose, and then they have a chance. So now if we look at the AFC as a whole, we see Condors, Snowhawks, Bisons, Riverhogs. Those are the 4 division winners. But you can see the Blues, they've already got an X. They're already in. They've clinched a spot, whether it's a division or a wildcard spot. So really, there's only 2 spots left. There's the Antlers and the Caps. They're currently in those spots as it stands today. Now let's go to the NFC. In the North, the Thunderbirds, Mounties, Huskies are taking it to the final week to decide who will win this division. The Thunderbirds will be facing the Lumberjacks next week, so you assume it'll be them, but you never know with these divisional rivalries. That means the Mounties and Huskies, they're going to square off. I'm excited to see the results. Then in the East, the Shamrocks, coming off their Thunderbirds win, is sitting nicely at 12-4. Then in the East, the Shamrocks, after their win, they're sitting nicely at 12-4. The Voyagers and the Dragons can still make the playoffs, but the Dragons, they're going to need some help. The Voyagers, all they have to do next week is win, and they're in. In the NFC South, it's Desperados and nobody else. The Wizards, Golden Eagles, and Nighthawks. This is a division that looks like only one head coach may be returning next season. And now to the West, the Elks and Monarchs are going to the final week. We don't know who's going to win this division, but the loser may be out of the playoffs completely. The Bulls, they missed their chance by being blown out today. They're going to be out of the playoff race. So now as we look at the NFC as a whole, we see Shamrocks, Thunderbirds, Mounties, Desperados, Huskies all in. And just as in the AFC, we are deciding between the final 2 spots, but we're also deciding on who the number 1 seed will be. The Condors, since they lost the Snowhawks now, are tied at 12-4. Maybe we see the Snowhawks overtake them, get that first round bye. Right now, the Shamrocks, they have the bye in the NFC East, but we never know. If the Thunderbirds or Mounties, they're also at 11-5 and lurking if they can take that top spot. So here's what it would look like if the playoffs started this week. Right now, Condor, Shamrocks at the top of their conferences. Only difference here, Riverhogs and Blues switch places, along with the Caps, who bumped out the Steamers out of that 7th seed there in the AFC. But from the top of the league to the bottom, we have the Pioneers, Lumberjacks, Tigers, Nighthawks, and Oilers rounding out the bottom 5 in the league. They won't be going anywhere near the playoffs this year, but they get those sweet, sweet draft picks. And will any of those picks be one of these draft prospects? These things could always change, but right now we have a receiver at number 1 in the entire draft, Devontae Snell, QB Steve Weiss, right end Wendell Blake, tight end Paul Schultz, and left tackle Robert Monroe. The teams at the bottom of the waffle hoping one of these guys could be a franchise-altering player for a potential turnaround next season. But now let's go back to this week and look at some stats. Who are the passing leaders? Joe Burrow is number 1, 4,052 yards, 22 touchdowns, just 4 picks. Great season for Burrow. Then in rushing, Javonte Williams still at the top, 1,141 and 10 touchdowns to go with it. Then in receiving, it was Hill, Cooper, Adams all in a row last time, and it stays this way for week 17. Hill with 1,391 yards and 10 touchdowns. Now to defense, Dre Greenlaw with the most solo tackles at 72. Tackles for loss, though, that's Dexter Lawrence, 44 tackles for loss. And then sacks, Aaron Donald, second in tackles for loss, but first in sacks by 4, beating Quentin Williams with 23 to his 19. And finally, in interceptions, it goes Diggs at 9, Gilmore number 2 at 7, and Jordan Lewis number 3, 6. And now before we take a look ahead at week 18, here is the situation in the AFC. We have 5 teams that have already clinched a spot in the playoffs: Condor, Snowhawks, Bisons, Riverhogs, Blues, but Antlers, Caps, that's to be decided. And who's in the NFC? Shamrocks, Thunderbirds, Desperados, Mounties, Huskies, and there's still room for 2 more. Who's it going to be? Elks, Voyagers, or will someone else sneak in? Dragons or Monarchs? And so there we have it. Only 1 week remains in the regular season. Week 18 is right around the corner. Some good matchups. The NFC North and the AFC North is up for grabs. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you next time for the end of the regular season.